Good morning, guys. What's happening? Hope you guys are having a great day. Sorry I haven't done some videos. Sarah and I have not been feeling well, but we're back at it today, and we've got a friend, a companion, a loved one. Look, he's coming out here showing Doc how to work. Right there, man, my buddy Dalen.
What's going on?
Dalen. He's gonna cut this yard, guys. He is gonna cut this one. I'm gonna trim it. Are you ready to do this, brother?
Let's do it, man.
Guys, I finally got him out here. I had to actually show up at his house at 4 this morning.
Oh, whatever.
I'm kidding. He was there on time today. So let's get this yard cut. We'll show you afterward, and we'll get plenty of footage of him using the V-Ride, because he's got to get used to it, because you are going to buy one.
I'm looking for next year. Got something that happened to me. Got blessed with a HOA contract, so we can go ahead and make the next step, get a V-Ride. It's kind of funny for me to use, but I got to go ahead and start getting used to it. So the first yard I did was a little... It did all right. It did all right. Lines were a little crooked, but, you know, I'm not used to the mower, so, you know.
The yard was really wet, so it was hard for him to make the turns, man. I told him, I said, it will rip the grass in the wet yard, so just be careful. So we'll give you an after of this one. We'll get plenty of footage, and we'll find out. Hey, we're on part 3, man, of the dark side of lawn care. We didn't forget about that, and some of you, nobody has left me an email of their story, so I'm gonna put my email back up here somewhere. Leave me an email of one of your dark stories, man, of lawn care. All right, let's go to work. Okay, guys, so whatever stripes can be had, he did a good job. And over here, you can really see he did a really good job getting them nice and straight. He's almost a pro. That's 2 yards, almost a pro. We got a couple more for him to cut. Next one he's trimming. So we'll get with you here in about 2 or 3 yards, guys. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, we got Dalen on the mower, so I'm gonna get some footage of that for you. He's doing a fine job. He is a little slow on it because he's not used to it, but he did a great job trimming, and he asked me to find out for him where he was being inefficient at. So basically, he is being inefficient in his trimming. That's where he is stuck. And I found out why. Okay, so when I start a yard, I go from the right side down the curb all the way around the house, and I end on the left side. And he basically kind of starts anywhere and then just kind of jumps around, and he forgot exactly what I told him to do, but that's okay. I'll let him do what he's doing. He's doing a good job. So efficiency is where, because we were talking and he said, you know, Shane, where am I not as fast as you at? Now the mowing, it's no big deal because he's not used to a stand-on. But I told him, I said, there's got to be a place where you're not as fast, and I need to see you work to find out where it was. And as soon as he started trimming, I could tell. Guys, when you trim a yard, now everybody can trim the way they want to, but efficiency is numero 1, man. It's number 1. I don't want to keep walking back and forth in a yard. I want to find a spot, and I want to find the quickest route around the house to where I'm touching everything I'm trimming. Once you find that spot, it shouldn't take more than 5-6 minutes to trim a normal yard like this. Now, if you're solo, you have got to pay attention to that, because that is where it comes in, man. You've got to have everything down precisely or you're going to waste time. So let me get him up here to get on the front yard, and I'll get you footage of him. I'll see you in a minute. So his biggest issue right now is he's probably having problems with turns. So I've got to work with him here on that. So I'll be right back. So he was having a little bit of issue about how to join one side to the other here. And I want to get him to turn correctly. See, he's getting that half moon turn there. Let me help him real quick, guys, and we'll be back. There, he's got it. There, he's got it. All you're doing is blowing leaves into leaves. So we're going to watch him do this. I think he's doing a fine job, guys. I really do. There you go. Now look where you're going. Nope. There you go. Yep. He went all the way. Hold on. It gets a little bit out of kilter with the lines. I'm not so much worried about that today. You gotta learn, man. It's the only way you learn is to do it, and you know, here he comes. Okay, we got him focused on something. Watch this line go straight as an arrow. Perfect. Look at that, guys. Just had to tell him to focus on something. There he comes. He's focusing on it. He's going slow, but that's okay. Got a little bit out of kilter. That's how to do it. You got to pick a part. You got to pick a point down there and focus on it, and then just go up and down. And I think that's much better than what he's been doing right there. Okay, man, what do you think so far of the V-Ride?
V-Ride is nice. It's weird because I'm used to a sit-down, because, you know, I got a Tiger Cat too. So it's going to take some while for me to get adjusted to when I get my own. But I mean, it's just in the learning process, that's all.
What's the biggest difference in a sit-down and a stand-on?
Well, when you sit down, you don't really have to focus on what you're doing. You can kind of just, I feel like you can just kind of drive and keep it straight. With this one, you got to stay focused and keep on a point to where you can actually keep your line straight, because if you don't, it screws you completely. But like I said, I'm not used to it, so that's why.
I think you've done well, man. I mean, I'm not asking you to come out here and be a pro on it. I think you've done well. It's like you get the hang of some things, and then you got to go back and learn other things.
Exactly.
It's just it's a learning curve. How long do you think it would take you before you figured it out? 2 weeks?
I think maybe a month and a half.
You think that long?
Well, I mean, I don't think I've done too bad, but I think just for me to really get used to it, then I really think I'll be solid. But like I said, I mean, I run stand-on X-Marts, but they're different from the actual stand-on V-Rides. You know, the walk-behinds, those are different.
Yeah, walk-behinds are totally different than these. But they're similar in a way, but the controls are very touchy.
Very different. And then I'm used to wanting to pull the handlebars out. Can't do that on this mower too. That's another thing I'm used to doing. So,
well, you're doing great, man.
I appreciate it.
Doing great.
Yeah, learning a lot out here.
I'll tell you what, guys. We're gonna get I'm gonna get the tripod out. We're gonna record these 2 yards, because then after that we've only got 3 left, and we kind of want to go home.
Yes.
It's a little chilly out, so we're just going to get these knocked out, go home. But we'll talk to you at the end. I got a story for you. Do you have any horror stories yet in lawn care?
Oh, man, I've got a million of
Okay,
them.
he's going to tell us a horror story. I'm going to tell you a horror story. Remember, it's Dark Side of Lawn Care Month, guys. This is part 3. We'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, there's the last 2 yards we just cut. You can see some stripes in this one. No stripes in that one. I was trying to do some of the leaves, but they just kept blowing. And that's what you got on the street.
Hey, Big Mo's calling you.
It's a mess. And we'll be back with you when we get to the house. Okay guys, we are officially done. Bro,
just
I appreciate it,
Absolutely, man. Appreciate coming out with you today.
Did you learn anything?
I learned a lot today.
And
definitely the V-Ride's a big one. Learning how to go around and trim better. I mean, I got my own pattern when I'm doing my own properties, but you know, I just coming out and learning some new things definitely will help me out, make me more efficient out here in the field. So
efficient. That's the thing, guys. Efficiency. And he did awesome today on the V-Ride, I thought. He mowed a little bit on the big yard that we got, like the half acre, and I think you found out that you get straighter on as the yard gets smaller. You get straighter.
Yeah, that's what
it's hard for him on the long runs, but that is hard for me. Even you guys have watched my videos when I'm, you know, when you got to go like 100 yards or 75 yards, it's hard to keep that thing straight, man.
Well,
with
especially
bouncing
for me, because I'm not used to it either. So
right.
Yeah.
So real quick, Dark Side of Lawn Care story, guys. We're gonna let him tell us one of his stories today.
All right, so, and this currently just happened within the past about month or so. So I have a client, been mowing her for, I'd say about a couple years. This was one of the clients that when my buddy got out of lawn care medically, he blessed me and gave me, she was one of the ones in the lot. Anyway,
hold on, I'm gonna set you right there so I can just hold it. Go ahead.
So when I first started mowing her, we fell off onto a rough start because I have a certain way of how I do my houses, and this is just me. Now Shane, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how you go about doing yours. When I send a message to my people, I send them 3 messages. I send them a message the day before saying, "Hey, I'll be by." I send them another message saying, "Hey, I'll be by this day." The second message will be, "Hey, I'm coming to your yard to service it," or I'm currently done in the process of working on it. And then the third one is that I'm done with your yard. Now, normally the way that my customers know me is that they answer back to me and they at least acknowledge some of the messages. Now, what I found in my experience with lawn care is that I've found that people, if they don't acknowledge your text messages, at least on my end, now I don't know how Shane works out, I've had people just kind of ghost me and they haven't paid me. Now
I have had that.
That's happened to me. So the way that I see it, if you don't acknowledge my text messages that I'm coming, or you haven't acknowledged it, like I said, I send 3, well, how am I going to know that you're going to pay me? So when I first started cutting her, I did that, and she didn't acknowledge any of my messages, so I just skipped her house because I don't know if I'm going to get paid. I don't know if anything's happened to you. She called me and she said, well, you know, you told me that you were going to come this day and you didn't come, and, you know, I'm going to pay you. And, you know, the guy that was doing it before, he knew that I would pay him after the fact, that even if I was texting, because I was a third shift person, granted, I didn't know any of this. This is my first time working with her. And she says, you know, you will come by, you can cut my grass, and, you know, I will pay you. And I told her, I said, well, ma'am, you know, I don't know you like that. So I don't know how you work as a customer, but the way that I work, if you don't answer any of my messages, how are you not going to pay me? So that was that. We went past that. Come this year, she has been a very big inconvenience to me. The very first time when we started off the season in March, April, when I got to her house, I guess it was the first time she came out to her house. Her house is locked up with gates. It's locked up with locks. When we get back there, the key's missing. Now, normally it hangs off of the fence. It's missing. And we're sitting there, me and my buddy are sitting there waiting around, and I'm thinking, well, I have other houses to do. And she said, well, I'm going to go up and get a pair of bolt cutters so we can get this lock cut off. So that was the first inconvenience. I lost 20, 30 minutes there when I could have been mowing. Then when she goes and gets the bolt cutters and tries to cut it, well, the bolt cutters end up snapping. So then that was a waste of a half an hour. I kid you not, it gets even better. So that was the first inconvenience. The second inconvenience is that she always got these little dogs that was always running around. Always running around, and it's irritating. They always running around. And I gotta always go and knock on the door and tell her, hey, I'm mowing the front. Can you come and move the dogs out of the, get your dogs in the house. Now, mind you, she works third shift, so she sleeps during the day. So the third time I went by her house, there again, sent her all my messages. I come to her house, and she has a truck blocking her gate to where I can't get into it. Now, the past couple times that I went by her house within the past 2 weeks, she had told me, she said, if you please do not knock on my door because I'll be sleeping. Okay, I respect that. That's fine. So this is the funny story. This really got me. This really lit me on fire. So, like I said, I came to her house. Truck was blocking the gate. I couldn't get back there. So I just skipped her house. I didn't do it at all. I shot her a text and said, hey, there's a truck blocking the gate. I know you said to not bother you. So I'm going to have to just come back to your house. Guess what she told me, guys? Guess what she told me? Well, you could have just knocked on my door and we could have got that rectified.
After she told you
After she told me the past 2 weeks not to bother her. And I said, well, you told me not to bother you, you're sleeping. Then she tells me, well, I tell you that when my kids ain't home. How am I supposed to know what's going on in your house if I don't live there? That was the third or fourth inconvenience for this lady.
See, guys, how long you been in business?
I've been in business officially for a year, but I've been doing this for about 4 or 5
years. Okay, officially for a year and already. So this is just some of the stuff you're not going to get on YouTube. You're not going to turn on somebody trying to sell you something or whatever, or showing you a new mower, and they're going to tell you all the problems that they encountered throughout the week. This is reality, man.
Yes, it is.
This is what happens to us. And this is why I want your story, because I want to know what you guys go through. I've been through the same thing. Okay? There's always something. There's always something or someone somewhere that's going to drive you crazy, man. And I know he's been out hustling this whole year, man, working hard, and I was so thankful that he came today. It was a blessing. We got everything done in like, what, 4 hours?
4.5 hours,
yeah. 11 yards done. He learned a little bit about the V-Ride now, so he has a little bit better understanding when he gets on it. What is the hardest, now that you've ridden it quite a few times, are you getting more used to it?
I'm getting more used to it. The biggest thing with me with the mower, there again, like I said, I'm used to sit. All the mowers I've owned have been sit down. I've had a few stand-ups, but I've had the X-Mark walk behinds. They're a lot different than the V-Rides. My biggest thing with the V-Ride is standing on it, and just the control is just a whole different experience. I mean, it works just like a sit down. It has the same leverage, but it's not the same.
Nope.
So it's hard standing up, controlling it. And plus, while I'm mowing, sitting down, I can look down and still kind of stay straight, because that's kind of what you're doing.
Wouldn't you say you almost have to kind of mold yourself into the mower?
Yeah, you do. And see, I feel like with a sit down, you don't have to do that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just natural. You get on it and you just go. With that, right. It's a whole different feeling.
Yep.
But it's fun. It's fast. I like it. I'm definitely going to be getting me one for my season for next year. So
awesome, brother.
I'm excited.
Well, man, guys, give Daylin. It's Daylin.
Yes, it is.
I messed it up.
Yes,
okay.
It did.
So he's going to take me outside the back of the house and beat me senseless. But I appreciate him coming. I hope you guys had a blessed day. God is good, and let's keep prayers for Israel as they go into combat. And what is the name of that channel that we just saw?
It was Brown's Quality Lawn
Brown's
Care.
Quality Lawn Care. Just saw, I think they're a husband and wife, I'm not sure. But man, what a great team they make, and they do a great job. So check them out. Check out, oh, what's a good channel we could check out? Check out Prime Cuts Lawn Care, Brian Welsh, Prime Cuts Lawn Care, my buddy from from down under over there in Australia. And as always, guys, Dr. Real and Dalen.
Yes, sir.
We were in the house. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Guys, you know I'm not letting it go. Don't forget, strike hold. And I'll put the stuff down in the, and this guy already tell him about strike hold.
Man, that stuff's slick, man. I like it. I'm about to get some for my mower because, especially for this quick shoot, man. For mine's rough. You gotta take it force, and yeah, so I'm gonna have to get some of that. That stuff is slick, man. I'm gonna be buying some of that stuff tonight, so you guys should too.
I'll tell you, it works, guys. Hey, we'll see you.